Hey, welcome back to the Backlog Battle. I'm Tennessee, and today we're going to be going with an N64 classic that, just like your parents, begs the question, why can't you be more like your brother? Number 8 on the list of best-selling Nintendo 64 games with 4.8 million sales. A game that, just like a 90s dad, doesn't care about your feelings and will have you pressing the restart button more times than an alcohol treatment program. Today we're talking about Diddy Kong Racing, a blast-of-the-past kart racer that features Diddy Kong, Banjo-Kazooie, and Conker before he had that bad fur day. So let's hop into that instruction manual and see what this game's all about. So to start off, let's talk about the story of Diddy Kong Racing. See, Diddy Kong Racing takes place on an island named Timber's Island, which is related to Timber, the tiger, who is one of the playable characters in the game. The game was originally titled Pro M64, which had Timber the tiger as the main character, but after pitching to Nintendo, Diddy Kong ended up becoming the lead. But most of the story still revolves around Timber. While Timber's parents were away, an evil intergalactic space pig wizard named Wizpig came to the island and took control of all the racetracks. In response, Timber calls for help from his friends, including Diddy Kong, who then recruits Banjo and Conker. The team must race across 4 themed areas to defeat Wizpig's minions and reclaim the island. I mean, this isn't the greatest story, but it definitely gets points for having an evil intergalactic space pig wizard named Wizpig. Worlds and progression. Diddy Kong Racing is a little different than most racing games in its progression system. Wizpig has locked all the races with a spell, and you need to collect golden balloons to unlock the doors. To collect balloons, there's a couple different ways, but for the most part, it boils down to winning a race and getting a balloon. There's 47 different balloons in the game, so as I'll explain, we'll update the counter in the top right so you don't miss one. The races are divided across 4 uniquely themed worlds, with the first being Dino Domain. This is a world where you'll be dodging giant dinosaurs, flying over lava volcanoes, and racing a Triceratops up a mountain. Each world has 4 tracks which, once complete, reward a golden balloon. After completing those, you'll be able to access the boss course, where you'll be able to face off against a unique boss. For Dino Domain, the boss is Tricky the Triceratops, and when defeated, they'll challenge you to do the races again against tougher opponents and collect 8 silver coins in each race while placing first. This is known as the Silver Coin Challenge. Upon completion of the Silver Coin Challenge, you'll face off against the boss again. This time the boss will be much faster and have more mechanics, and you'll be racing for a piece of Wizpig's amulet. Once completed, this amulet will gain you access to race Wizpig, and the 4 bosses to each zone hold a piece. After defeating the boss for a second time, they'll want you to complete a trophy challenge, which is a circuit of all the races. Winning first place will award you with a Wizpig trophy. You won't need these right away, so we'll come back to these. Also in each world, there will be a locked door. In order to unlock these doors, you'll need to find a hidden key in one of the races. This will open the way to a PvP style challenge map, and once complete, will award a piece of TT's amulet. We'll cover the location of these keys further in the video. You'll repeat this process for each world, collecting balloons, amulet pieces, and trophies. The additional worlds are Snowflake Mountain, which is a frozen land where you'll be dodging giant snowballs and facing off against Bluey the Walrus in a downhill sled style boss challenge. Sherbet Island, a tropical paradise where you'll be racing across the deck of a pirate ship, using whales as ramps, and racing an octopus who lays traps behind him. And lastly, Dragon Forest, a medieval themed world where you'll be racing through a village, flying through windmills, and bumbling your way down Boulder Canyon before flying against Smokey the Dragon. After you've went to the 4 different zones, winning race after race, beating boss after boss, by this time you should have collected all 4 amulet pieces. Now you're going to watch a cutscene to where Wizpig's face on the mountain opens up, and it's going to enable you to fly inside and face Wizpig. This first race is pretty challenging, and you're going to have to make sure you hit all the zippers around the track in order to beat him. After beating him, all the inhabitants of the island are going to have a party. They're unaware that Wizpig is just waiting behind the lighthouse. He eventually busts out, breaks up the party, and then escapes on one of his spaceships. At this point, the game's going to run through the credits, and it'll come to the portion where it says the end, but it has a question mark on it, and we know we've not collected 47 balloons to race Wizpig twice. At this point, you should be at about 33 balloons, because you had to pick up the one on the bridge to Dino Domain, so we can go ahead and talk about the rest of the balloons and how you get them. The second one's going to be located on the cliff left to Wizpig's face on the mountain. You're going to have to talk to Taj, get the plane, and fly up there to get it. The third and the fourth one you can get with the plane as well. You're just going to fly through the tunnel heading out towards the lighthouse and then turn left over the water. The first balloon will be floating above the water down to the left. Then you're just going to make a right-hand turn, fly over the log, and it will be hidden in the trees to the left. Now that you've collected all of the hidden balloons on the map, that's going to put our total balloon count up to 36. Now at some point during the game, you probably should have talked to Taj. He's going to challenge you to 3 different races throughout the game, one of them for the cart, one for the hovercraft, and one for the plane. After winning these races, he awards you with a golden balloon, which then puts our total count up to 39. So now that we've gotten 39 balloons, you should be able to head down to the lighthouse, and you're going to notice a billboard that says 4 trophies on it. You'll just get in front of that billboard, you're going to honk your horn, and then you'll watch a cutscene to where the lighthouse turns into a spaceship. That's going to take you to Future Funland, which is the 5th and final world in the game. This world's going to contain 4 more races, so after completing them on normal mode, you'll get 4 additional balloons, and then you'll beat them on the Silver Coin Challenge, putting your total balloon count up to 47. So now that you got 47 balloons and completed all the races within Future Funland, the only thing left to do is open up TT's door. In order to open that, you're going to have the 47 balloons as well as TT's amulet, which you get from collecting all the keys in the different worlds and then beating the challenges. The first key was located in Ancient Lake. Right after the start, you're going to go to the right and see it on a ramp. The second key was located in Snowball Valley. Once again, as soon as you start the race, you're going to go left this time, up a path, and you'll see it in a cave on the right. The third key is located in Crescent Island. Once you start the race, you'll take the path to the left, and then go into the water, circle around the rocks, and the key will be in a cave. The fourth key is located in Boulder Canyon. Make your way to the part of the racetrack that has the bridge. You'll want to ring the bell and turn around going the opposite way on the course. Once you ring the bell, the drawbridge will raise, and you'll need to use a blue balloon's boost to boost up there and get the key. Now you can return to Future Funland, open TT's door, and face off against Wizpig for race 2. This one's actually a flying race, and I found that prioritizing the blue balloons was beneficial. I also would wait until I got right around to Wizpig's head, collect that blue balloon, and then use the boost there, as most of the other race is within a cave, and it's kind of hard to not bounce off the walls while boosting. After beating Wizpig for a second time, the credits will roll again, and it'll say the end also. Now once you restart into the game, you'll see a new game mode called Adventure 2, to where all the golden balloons have been replaced with platinum, and all the courses are reversed from left to right. So to really finish this game, you need to do it twice, once on Adventure, and then the second on Adventure 2. Additionally, there's a time trial mode, and you can actually unlock TT as a playable character by beating him in all of the races. The only other player that you're able to unlock is Drumstick, and you'll get him by completing all of the trophy races, and then one of the frogs in the main world will have a rooster's crest on its head, and if you run over that frog, he'll be unlocked as one of the characters. Vehicles. Diddy Kong Racing has 3 vehicles that each control vastly different, meaning going from one race to the next with a different vehicle will completely change the way you approach a race. The cart is a land vehicle and used for racetracks that are set on the road. I found this the easiest of all the vehicles, as the turning is the most natural, and you quickly get used to drifting around the tracks and being able to make almost immediate turns by holding the right trigger. The hovercraft is used for water races because it gives the ability to float across water. The turning of the hovercraft was the hardest to master because if you turn too far, you can basically stall yourself out and lose all forward momentum. This means you had to plan to take a turn slower. Also, it's fairly easy to overturn while in the air, resulting in you landing in the wrong direction. However, having the ability to jump makes for some cool moments on the racetracks, like jumping from a whale's back to drive across the top of a ship. The plane can fly over any terrain, and once I got comfortable with it, it became my favorite vehicle. The controls are inverted, but it's able to produce a boost without a balloon and perform barrel rolls, which increase the speed of the plane. Characters. There are 8 different characters within the game, and they're differentiated by using 4 different stats. The first is a weight class, followed by acceleration, turning, and top speed. Characters are Crunch, Diddy Kong, Bumper, Banjo, Conker, Tip Tup, Pipsy, and Timber, with 2 unlockable characters, Drumstick and TT. You'll just have to play around with the different characters to find out who works best for you, but it's nice to be able to change characters on different tracks to beat different races. Items. Bananas are scattered throughout the racetracks. Every banana you collect will increase the top speed of your vehicle up to a cap of 10. You can lose bananas from getting hit by other items. I never felt the bananas were necessary and didn't ever prioritize getting them. Zippers come in 3 varieties, one for each type of vehicle, and when driving over them, you get a boost. Weapon balloons in this game were pretty unique and added a bit of strategy to the gameplay. You can stack multiple of the same balloon up to 3 times, increasing its power. For example, the red balloon starts out as a rocket that you fire off the front of your vehicle, but if you collect a second red balloon, it turns into a homing missile that will move to find the target in front of you. Collecting a third will make it to where you have 10 one-shot missiles. This made it to where you needed to make decisions on balloons. Can you make the shot and take out the racer in front of you with a forward-firing missile, or skip that blue balloon coming up and grab the next red one? This mechanic works great in the game and ends up making you map out your laps based on how you can stack your balloons. Blue balloons will give a speed boost. Collecting additional balloons increases its power. Yellow balloons give you a shield that can protect you from weapons. Additionally, if you run into another racer, it will make them spin out. Collecting additional balloons increases its active time. Green balloons allow you to drop traps on the ground. You start out with either an oil slick or a gas cloud, then a land or a floating mine, and finally a bubble that will trap a racer. The 5th and final balloon type is the rainbow balloons. They give you a magnet that can pull you towards a racer in front of you. Collecting additional balloons makes the pull stronger and further starting range, and at max power it will pull the opponent towards you. Diddy Kong Racing is the definition of easy to play but hard to master. Its cutesy animal themed characters alongside the bright color scheme and upbeat music makes it easily mistakable as just another kid's racing game. But the mechanical depth and strategy involved in some of these races explains why I never beat this one as a kid. I thoroughly enjoyed my time playing through Diddy Kong Racing, and after beating the adventure mode was pretty stoked. At first it seemed like Adventure 2 was just a cop-out to make the game longer, but this time, even though the races were backwards and the silver coins were in different places, it was quite enjoyable as I was excited to put all the tricks I'd learned over the first playthrough to use. It was nice to come back to this one. Hearing some of the music brought back old memories, and over the past week has been stuck in my head all again. The only thing I have left to do is unlock TT, which I plan on doing in the future, but I'm going to go ahead and call this one complete. Well, thanks for sticking around, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing, as I'll be bringing more backlog titles in the future. Comment down below if you've made it all the way through Adventure 2, and we'll see you in the next one.